For air conditioning, they wee all over their legs, so that cools down the blood that circulates around the body. It also makes them really smelly, it stops bugs and ticks and things from infesting their skin. So it's a really, really important adaptation for them out in the desert. Just out here, we have our scimitar horned oryx. So again, one of our keystone species. Here, unfortunately, their status as extinct in the wild is purely due to trophy hunting for those antler structures. Kids, if you have a look at their antler there or their horns, they might look a bit different. They're the exact same stuff as your fingernails there. So if we break a fingernail, it grows back. With the oryx out there, if they break one, it doesn't grow back. So we work really closely, again, with other zoos as part of a large breeding program in Australasia. If you look out there, there are a couple with only 3/4 grown horns, so they're a couple of 2.5-year-olds. It takes about 3 years for that to fully develop that antler structure, and at that stage they'll reach maturity and join their own family groups. Many of you familiar into our pharaoh time of all the pharaohs saw the oryx just there quite sacred. So throughout the hieroglyphics within the Egyptian tombs, particularly the tomb of Tutankhamun, you see lots of hieroglyphics of oryxes as well as little bronze statuettes. We've got a random ostrich egg out here, folks. On the way back we'll see ostrich eggs everywhere. Male and a female ostrich at the moment is just laying eggs every opportunity she can get. So we'll see a big cluster of them. We'll catch up with our ostrich as we go for a bit of a drive around today. We've got an ostrich running around and one of our male ostriches is running around and he's doing quite bizarre things there. Like he was hurdling the weeds. Ostriches are quite an animated animal. This is one of the boys. That's really obvious to me. He's got beautiful black feathers, so he's most of our bird life across the globe. The fellas are the pretty ones. Ostriches are pretty phenomenal. They're about the same speed as a zebra, so about 75 kilometres an hour. They weigh about the same as a lioness. They're up around 140, 160 kilos for a really big ostrich. Amazing muscle structure in those legs there. So we're just going to head along our waterhole here. We've got lots of bird life enjoying the environment. Another one of our male ostriches out there. We'll catch up with some more ostrich on the savannah. We've got a couple of our family group of zebra on the other side. We're going to get nice and close to zebra when we're down on the savannah. We have got a young foal just out there that is only about a month old, celebrating first Christmas. There we go. So we've got some water buck out there as well, folks. But we'll get nice and close to some of our zebras down on the savannah. We have the plains zebra here. So the species found in the big open plains and grasslands of Africa. We're going to come down that road on the way back. They might move around, but if they're still there, we're going to get a good look. A couple of Cape Barren geese just out there to the right. Just going to head down to our Werribee River, make our way over the bridge and towards our savannah. There's a couple of kudu hiding just out to the left in the woodlands as well. The lion's making a little bit of noise this afternoon, always keeps the kudu hiding away. So the property here itself is about 880 hectares, and within it we have some really critical ecosystems. So it's important to remember that in Australia we have the highest extinction rate. We also have one of the most unique species of animals across the globe, so we need to really secure their future. 150 years ago, the whole of this area was cleared for pasture and used as pastoral lands. So here at the zoo, we're really helping to recreate those natural ecosystems and look after our local animals. So we're about to head over the Werribee River. It's a bit green at the moment, but in Australia we have blue-green algae develop, and that does that in response to low rain times to help keep our river systems nice and balanced. At times of drought that can get toxic, but at the moment that's just making sure that river system's nice and healthy. So 4 kilometres of the river runs within the zoo boundaries, and we're the custodians for that. So that part of the river, so we make sure we look after that river system and the animals that live around it, including the platypus and a critically endangered rock wallaby population, brush-tailed rock wallabies. A lot of the natural grasses around this area are also very close to extinction, so they themselves operate as a seed bank to help regenerate those lost grasslands across Victoria. Just around here we've got our addax. Folks, any of you remember the gods must be crazy? You'll be familiar with the addax. They're notorious for charging at people or any other animal that's trying to hurt them. So if an addax sees or senses a threat, they just put their chin to their chest and charge straight at it. They do it at about 55 kilometres an hour, and their antler naturally grow into that structure, but they work really hard at filing the ends of those on big old growth trees to make sure that they're as sharp and as pointy as they can. It's a really important tool for them to protect themselves, as well as to use to establish their own hierarchy. And here at the zoo, just as in the wild of Africa, our lions are the top order predator. So the zoo is pretty much a big circle, and right in the middle of the lion. So we hear our lions roar dusk dawn at midnight. They do that because they can smell all of the other animals, and they want the animals to know that they're in charge. So if you look just over the Werribee River out to the left there, you'll see that red roof. That's where the lions are. So when the lions roar, folks, it travels for 10 to 12 kilometres right around the zoo. It's a really, really important enrichment program there. In the morning yesterday morning, the lions come in for a while the keepers clean their area. They also take in some rhino poo and leave it there, so the lions come back in, think the rhinos have been into the area, make lots of noise and reclaim the whole of the zoo. So all of that is really important natural enrichment. We're about to head into our savannah. Right around the savannas of Africa live African communities that are working really hard to find the balance between their lifestyle and keeping a nice sustainable future for the animals. So just got a little village here representative of some of the communities we work with in Africa. If you have a look around the bus there, you'll see some pictures of our friends from Malaco and their beautiful beadwork. Just important to remember that that balance is really key to the future of us and the big mammals across the globe living together in a long-term sustainable capacity. So we're just going to head through the gate here. If you have a look just out to the left down there, we've got some giraffes taking it nice and easy. You'll see some rhinos out there as well as some zebra. Some elands, which are the largest of the African antelope. The largest antelope in the antelope kingdom. And you'll see some more ostrich down there as well. We'll just take the road right around here, folks. We'll get a good look out down there. We'll catch up with those animals. So, if you have a look out, you can see how big the area is. Our largest land and aquatic animals are all herbivores. They have massive food requirements. So the giraffe eats 23 hours a day. Every day, but it's like a giraffe needs to find 8 kilograms of food. So they need a very big backyard. Down here in charge in our savannah are our white rhinos. White rhinos are the largest of all the rhino family group. They weigh in at around 2.5 to 3 tonnes. And they need to graze on 60 kilograms of grass a day. So this gives you a good idea. You can imagine during drought, and Africa, parts of Africa, particularly the grassland areas of Kenya and Botswana, are into their 10th year of drought. So that combined with habitat loss and poaching is really affecting these bigger mammals. One of my ostrich friends just out here, folks, if you have a look, you'll see a little path out there near him. He has created that. This is his territory of the savannah, and he spends the whole day going up and down and managing his territory there. So tomorrow I suggest we head down into that savannah area. You really can see a very defined area, like a little walkway just down to the right there. It becomes really obvious just on the here to our right. So that's where the ostrich just spends the whole day patrolling this area, checking out what's going on over there, keeping an eye on every noise. So this is his little territory. So he's made that just by patrolling it. And most animals will do that no matter how big their area is, they have their own little territory. Ah, rhinos have just woken up. Fantastic. We're having a siesta when we arrive, so we're going to get a nice look. As I said, the rhinos are in charge, folks. So we've got 6 white rhinos on the property. And they're spread into 3 different areas to maximise our breeding. So we'll come right down here and have a good look at them. They're a female dominant based animal, matriarch system. So Marquet, our female rhino down here, it looks like she's still having a siesta. She is top of the hierarchy. Throughout the day down here, the zebra will really spread out and take it nice and easy. As it starts to get darker, the lions get louder, they'll come together and they'll form a big herd group. So this time of day, it's quite typical to find everything down this end of the savannah. The giraffe go in every night. All of the other animals know that. They're very opportunistic, so they hope they might get a bit of food while the giraffe get put in. They're also really inquisitive of what's going on down there.
Look at the rhino. Look at the rhino. Oh, the giraffe is very relaxed. So you don't often see a giraffe sit down like that. And we do that twice a day for about 20 minutes. So giraffes never ever lie down close. They're the same neck structure as us. Because you can feel your little bones, the back of your hairline just here on your neck. So we have the same bones as a giraffe. But theirs are so big that they can never lie down. They can't lift that back off the ground. Just down here we've got a couple of our zebras. Just sticking back, observing Leroy round up the eland just up here. That's pretty typical of the rhino. We're going to get a nice lead. This is Leroy's afternoon activity up here, just engaging with the rhinos. So we'll come up there. Just down here we have Marquet, the female rhino. I tell the rhinos apart by their horn structure. So their horn is a big fingernail, okay, and they file that. It grows as a square block. They need to file that into shape. So Leroy here is spending some time rounding up the eland there. Guys, essentially Leroy there, comes on is just like a big lawnmower cropping at about 60 kilos of grasses a day. You can see he's covered in mud there. So when we cool down, we like to go into water. Rhinos are quite scared of water. They spend time in mud wallows, rolling around. We're going to catch up with him. He's going to head down to the next corner of the road. Just out there we have our eland. So the eland is the largest of the antelope. Very passive animal. They coexist quite closely with the plain zebra, the species of zebra we have down here. If you look at the female, they're pretty easy to pick out. They have very narrow-based antlers that pretty much come straight up, whereas the males are much wider in structure and they get out in a V shape. Also a little bit bigger, the 2 boys out there. And again, they grow into that shape, but they'll file and they'll shape that